Well, I guess it's perfect for our decider then, going into the third and final map. Obviously, statistics-wise, it's a little bit of a weird one. We've only really seen High Coast play against the Triumph, which they lost, and then the only team they've beaten, which happened 3 times, was the Bad News Bears. So don't have too much data between the two teams. Pone alone, well, he is the lone survivor on this site. He's got to try and do everything. That's a damn good try, though. 5 men pushing down on him. He'll take 2 with him at least.
It's a damn good try, Tom, but why is no one expecting that position? Like, surely you don't play 0 players for CT on B site. And they pretty much covered all the other angles, but let's just put that to the back of our minds because Triumph have got the post plant. They've got the 3-on-2, courtesy of 2 big frags, or 3 actually from Viz. Motum now right out onto the site, going for that defuse, tickles it, but doesn't get anything done, and Viz is actually on for the ace, but it's all down to RCF to spoil the party. There is a kit down, needs to pick it up soon. Time is dwindling away. Viz goes in for the peak. He is denied the ace, and he seems irate, but I'm sure it's all in good fun and good nature. He won't care. He got his team basically the round, and it's such an important round at that.
That might be my favorite reaction I've ever seen. You'd think he'd just lost like a major final. just jumping out of his chair. Oh, God. Shegzilla, you're an evil, evil man for stealing that one away. But yeah, they managed again. It just seems to be the case in our pistols, especially going back to Inferno. Like it looked to be slipping away from the T side in both halves, and then somebody just gets a ridiculous triple kill. And this time, Viz was the one to bring things home. Now, we are going to have an investment here from High Coast, and with the majority of the players trying to make their way through long, Boo actually has a very good chance of doing some damage. The problem is, Molotov, extra nades thrown in, he'll take one with him. That's actually not too bad. And RCF, nice shot into the man on pit.
Very nice shot. Actually keeps this alive, and Motum around the back of them's got one, tagged down Viz, but also spotted both players. That's valuable information. It is information, though, that will start to decay away because there is still a minute to play with. And no players up close on the wraparounds. They can't verify that intel. Eventually, they will have to assume that Triumph may very well hit the A site, which they're going in for now. RCF has the approach. He gets the first pick. Perfect crosshair placement, anticipating a crouch peek, and takes the head off of Viz. B-Wills throwing up the flash up and over's been spotted, and he's also been tagged down to 28. And even though he does take down the kill, a bullet anywhere on him from either of these guns could be enough to finalize the round. And as doing so, he realizes he has to pull the plug, goes back towards middle. I can't really foresee a way in which B-Wills wins this round. He's been tagged down to 10 now. The only thing saving him is there was a Mag 7 at range. But with 18 seconds to play with, he has to charge straight through middle towards the B site. And there is Ben, AK trading hands, and High Coast instantly bounce back.
Really good round from RCF as well. A couple of tasty shots. The scouts doing a lot of damage and even hitting a shot into the last man as well. So bringing things back, and Triumph's early start, well, it's gone. They're going to have to go in with some pistols of their own. The Tech-9's coming out to play. A gun that I feel like still feels pretty damn OP. Like it's one of those guns where I feel like if you just run and gun, you can still hit those crazy headshots like back in day. But we'll see if they can do anything with it this time. Pone alone, he's been waiting for someone to push in this direction with the Mag 7. The timing's decent, but actually he's only going to get one. The Tech-9's at least getting something in response. Modem slowly running out of bullets, but now he has some support, and unfortunately, the Tech-9 will have to live to fight another day.
It's a good cleanup from High Coast. They can be very happy with that outcome. Triumph don't really have too much of a punch to come behind that opening jab. And it's High Coast that will look to extend not just their lead, but also their financial superiority. It's only Glocks and minimal investment into this round from Triumph. Pretty much nothing at all. So just the P250 separates them. And what should be a complete and utter steamroll of a round. Now you've pointed that out, Tom, about his camera. I can't unsee it. It's just so bright. Like, I can only assume his camera has some dodgy settings. Otherwise, yeah. I worry for his eyesight. I really do. Oh, dear. What's RCF done there, then?
I feel like we just turned into the Chuckle Brothers for a second, but it's all right. Oh, dear, oh, dear. luckily, Monum is there again. The eco-frag killer, just picking up everybody as they walk through. Pushed himself right to the top of the board. He's looking for that man of the match. Well, 3-1. This is where we'll finally see Triumph break back. The problem is they've given over a hell of a lot of money. And now we're even going to see the AWP purchased up for RCF. And, well, we've seen what he can do with the Scout. Yet to really see his true form, I feel. Like, I think there's more to come from RCF. The way that he plays, the confidence he has, that only comes if there's something to back it up. And, well, that's one hell of a start in this round. Already, Viz is gone, out of the action. And while the T's are going to have to try and find a response.
Oof. Double nade, touchdown onto Sheikh Zula, down to 10 HP. I think that grimace on his face says it all, really. And now he may be thrown to the wolves in order to allow his teammates to do something. The run boost has been a bit of a dud, but fortunately, no one from High Coast was around the corner to fully destroy that and punish it.
I wonder if this is a fake. Like, the bomb's still over towards the B site. There's obviously the potential to maybe jump down. Although I say that, Sheikh Zula can't jump down because he will die. Oh, it hasn't been seen. It was only a pixel because they're a lot easier to spot when you do have the X-ray, but he's slowly making his way around the side. Look at his eyes as well. You can see he's trying to spot stuff out of the corner. I love the player cams. It gives us so much more information about what he's doing, but this is brilliant. He's got all the way past. He's trying to find a double here. RCF's about to walk into his crosshair, or walk straight into him, in fact. But it still worked as a fake. Sheikh Zula, he was only on 10 HP as they began, and now every player has just rotated over towards A because of what the in-game leader has done, and now they're going to have a B site after plant. This is perfectly played.
Yeah, this is such a sick play from Sheikh Zula. He makes the call, he makes the play. Any more kills at this point is just a cherry on top. Now, he's wasted a lot of time. He's given his team the best possible opportunity and foundation to build off, but now he needs them to execute. He needs them to come full circle, and there's a great lurk in the wings. B-Wills is waiting to snap down and snatch the life away from High Coast. First kill goes his way, and then Cooper holds the line. It's such a good hold. But again, Sheikh Zula makes that round possible.
That is a fantastic round from Triumph. Like, it started off with obviously a few little pieces going wrong. Nice boost up will give RCF a kill. And of course, already mentioned, financially, they're not going to be in a bad spot. But just the sheer patience and also just going and hiding in Gandalf after that point, just to waste as much time as possible. Obviously, also the flank from B-Wills towards the end. Like, it really couldn't have gone much better for them. So, good turnaround. See, however, the CT side has said they've got to buy here. And actually, in terms of the long battle, they've done relatively well. For Boo, just get out of there. You've got the man advantage, or at least you had it. However, with Motum was actually pushing all the way out of B tunnels. I guess just expecting the battle to be on long completely, but oh, the rotation's going to be cut off.
Pone alone is watching B-side by himself, maybe up against Sheikh Zula momentarily. It could be the reverse fake. Last time was on the A site, maybe this time on B. But if RCF peeks around the corner, he'll have Cynic dead to rights. That's the bomb that goes with him. He would have caught a glimpse of that. Allows Boo to start to make moves up middle. And this could be the nuts play. Sheikh Zula's gone down on the B side. Bomb last seen on A long. This is asking so much of Viz. He's tagged down to 63. He only has a Molotov, so no smoke for the cross. Molly is able to be picked up straight afterwards. Tossed his towards the car. But it's all about Boo. He is waiting for that call to come out so he can snap back around and take Viz with him. And Viz now making moves towards the A site. There's two players staring dead at him, one of which is RCF with the AWP. Will the optic miss? No, it absolutely will not. He puts him down, and High Coast instantly bounce back into victory.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's a shame after such an excellent round that you then get punished almost instantly, just with one of the more standard battles you have, like an early long stack coming out from High Coast. They come out on top eventually, and even with one of the rotations being caught off, it didn't really go anywhere near the round going in their direction. Now, For the T side in this round, they've got a few extra pieces invested. I think the goal, again, is to just try and get themselves a bomb plant, which on this map in particular, normally means you're going to try and head towards short. It's definitely the easiest place to get a bomb plant. Normally, it's a much more passive hold, but actually, Boo's going to go pushing. I'm not sure I'm a massive fan of this, but it looks like he's going to get a pick for his troubles. And this is probably the spot where you just want to fall back. You have a lot to lose. They have nothing to lose, and your teammates are ready and waiting in case they go into mid. That's a nice shot from Viz, though. At least make things a bit more costly.
Yeah, that's what it's all about right now. You know that their economy is not exactly fully stabilized, so any kills you get are worth their weight in gold. If you can take 2 or 3 players down, that is the sweet spot. Right now, this isn't too much of an issue for High Coast. They can trade up the MP9, picked up the fallen weapon. Any more from here, though, is where things start to get a little bit sketchy. Boo is on A site alone. He will be tested momentarily. Has been, but it's with the MP9 at range, won't be doing too much. Run boost over. Boo now opening up, but has been dinked instantly. Needs help. Flash up and over. Just needs to stay alive. This should yield a bomb plant more than likely, though, unless Ben can get up close with the MP9. Can hear the bomb being tickled down. He goes in for the spray. That flashbang was huge. They don't deny the bomb plant, though. So Triumph, I think, overall there, Tom, are pretty happy with the outcome. You get a kill, you get a bomb plant, basically with nothing apart from a couple of pistols. That's really not too bad.
Yeah, all it really is in that scenario is the bomb plant pays for everything you bought. So they're up with the same amount of money they would have had, plus they got to do a little bit of extra damage along the way. So it maybe spreads the wealth slightly if a few players were a little bit less on cash, for example, buying an AWP, but that's kind of what you're hoping for. A kill and a bomb plant, they're not going to really complain too much about that. Now, going into the next round, both teams with pretty much everything they could desire, other than maybe the CT side having a few extra AKs that they could have stolen here and there. RCF, you could see Cooper's just like, what? Like, how's he there? How's no one spotted that? And how's he managed to get back out without any problems at all?
Yeah, unfortunately, with the strat they went for, all 4 players hit long straight away, so no one was really scouting for that. So he was just totally caught off guard. It's an unlucky play, really. Sometimes you zig when you should have zagged. So losing Cooper so early, he's had a really rough start, by the way. 1-7, and he's been pretty solid on the other 2 maps. RCF, aggression, misses the flick and gets punished for it. Ben next up to the plate, but he has tripped and he's been submerged alongside Boo. And some aggression proving to be the determining factor. High Coast may have to save.
It's funny. I was just about to credit the aggression of RCF and saying, we're finally seeing some of that like untapped potential I was talking about earlier. And then he does that. Like, even with a rifle, that's a bold play, but I can kind of understand it with the flashes being available. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone try and run through that smoke with an AWP. That's ludicrous. And yeah, that's basically what he deserved. He gets shot in the head for it. I do still stand by the fact I would love to have the level of confidence that that man does, although I think I would be a danger to society.
I agree, Tom. Knowing you, I definitely would be. Yeah, it's a very odd play, and if nothing else, the reason that you're not going to do that with an AWP as opposed to the rifle is, one, you can't really get the multi-frags down unless they line up for a collateral, but additionally, the barrel of the gun will protrude through the smoke before you even see anybody. So it's like this double-edged sword, this double whammy, and there's the result. Now, High Coast can go back into a buy, but you see everyone apart from Motum, pretty rough, and B will straight through the best possible spawn, makes the most of it. RCF pulled through the smoke.
Yeah, not the start he was looking for. And this time, I guess more so than the last, it actually matters because financially they don't have the money to fall back on anymore. The last round, you can almost have that as a bit of a blip, but they lose this one. They're basically allowing Triumph straight back in after what was a pretty damn solid start. What I will say, though, is they have been pretty good at coming back, but Boo now meets the same fate. 2-man advantage. The AWP changes hands once more. When we talk about a rotational AWP, it's normally the player moving around, not different people picking it up. However, just look how patient Triumph are being. It's almost like they've just cracked the code. They've gone, okay, if they're just going to keep pushing, keep trying to take map control, this time we'll just fall into a more basic default. And the fact is, it hasn't changed. Modem is still going to try and get aggressive. Understandably so, just because of how the round has gone so far.
may very well yield the results from this as well, but instead he checks the right-hand side and Cynic punches him. Now with the plant right alongside it, Triumph looking good to break down that money that we were just talking about. Nice flick from Pwn alone, so he will hold on to his AWP at least for the time being. And his partner in crime with the other AWP is Ben, watching, peeking down from the window towards the spawn. So it's looking good that this will be a bit of a stalemate come the end of the round, but it will still be Triumph. Now, getting a 4th round, 1 behind High Coast, and an interesting development in terms of the finances over on the CTs with 2 AWPs. Do they end up forcing behind this, knowing that Motum can definitely afford, you know, a rifle bare minimum? Or do they pull the plug and just hope that the firepower of these 2 AWPs will supply them with the round win?
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward spot. I think there'll definitely be a temptation to force, but knowing that you can likely get an AWP and 4 rifles in the next round might bring more of a hesitation. Nonetheless, it's not really a good scenario, whatever they go for. So it's just going to be the eco. I can respect it. RCF actually going to be given the glass cannon open. Ben's going to play a USP armor. That's, again, not something you see very often. Maybe just going to play around the AWPer so that if it's dropped, he'll just be able to pick it straight back up, and it allows for that extra bit of aggression. The problem here, though, is that Modern was the lone defender of the B site. And because of the smokes that have gone down, they don't actually know that they technically still have control. And while Triumph, again, I think they've realized that there might be a few pieces missing in this round, so just going to fall back into these more standard defaults. They've got to be careful crossing, but well, you hope that they'd maybe duck their head across. It actually seems like they're going to be fighting some of it. There's a peek coming in, and Cooper's going to catch RCF on the re-peek. AWP down, but as said, there are plenty of players left to retrieve it.
RCF's going to be very frustrated at that. He's watching middle for the better part of 20-30 seconds, and the second he stops looking, of course, they cross. Now, the other AWPer of Pwn alone has got some success. This is where Boo wishes he had any gun other than the USP, but he's at least put it to good use. He hears the footsteps. That's 2 more players have been spotted. Allows the fast rotation through, and Ben with the AWP is now in position to strike. Oh, he's so unlucky. He actually wings B Wills, but can't finish him off. And the USP through the smoke takes off the head. So even though post plant is likely, there won't be great positions to try and thwart this push, but Sheikh Zula gets 2 of them as they push in ahead of Pwn alone, and they pay the price, 5-5.
Yeah, there's been a couple of rounds now where Sheikh Zula has done something pretty impressive when it mattered the most, and this was definitely one of those rounds. This would have been so damaging to the side of Triumph if they let this one slip away, but they've got themselves back to level pegging, and this is the buy that comes up. Like I said, it's not awful. They'll have an AWP onto RCF. His early start, though, has quickly dwindled. He's had a few rounds now where he's been caught out, some through fault of his own, it has to be said, and others just by some good shots coming in on the other side of things. Cooper only with his 2nd kill, but it was one that was impactful. RCF, there's too many targets to aim at, it seems, as he'll whiff slightly, but then given another chance, and Pwn alone alongside him. We'll bring this back, but never mind. How's it ended up with just Motum? 4 kills in the space of a second. He's clipped the Molotov as well. That gives all the info over to Cooper, and a 6th round just about.
I can't sugarcoat that round, Tom. That's a round that High Coast have absolutely been their own worst enemy. I mean, RCF had multiple chances to get kills, and he missed everything. Like you said, it's like a target-rich environment, but he missed everything. Some questionable decisions on the approach as well, and it feels like High Coast are coming apart at the seams. It has been a reoccurring theme on their CT side. They've really struggled. And that seems to be the case again here. Down to pistols, Triumph, superior weaponry. Have P250 and Deagle to contend with, and so far they've navigated their way close without too much cost in terms of HP. Only 3 damage on B Wills, that's it. But it's quite a centralized defense now, Tom. High Coast are trying to wrap around the side of lower tunnels and see if they can maybe sandwich onto Triumph here and make them a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a read coming out from Triumph, but it seems like a lot of the time when they're up against pistols, they actually head towards this B site. And I think to do anything but. Obviously, a lot of teams will gamble stack long in these sort of scenarios. But if you then garner control of long, I feel like you have a much easier time than walking into this B site. But Triumph seemingly want to give it another go after just about succeeding in the last one. And they're going to continue this push here. Cynic almost being the feeler, but he doesn't have himself a Mac 10 or anything less. And there comes the pistols. That's already 2 kills going their way. And they're still just walking into the blender. There's even a flank coming in, Vince. I questioned it at the beginning, and I'm questioning it a bit now.
No, you hit the nail on the head, Tom. Yeah, absolutely. I was a little bit perplexed as well, but it does. I don't want to necessarily pile all the blame on Triumph. I think High Coast made a great read, and they made the most of a situation. You know, they had an opportunity, and they absolutely struck it hard, which is great to see. And their aim is on point. They landed some beautiful 1Ds from Boo here, 2 crispy headshots. But you just look at Triumph and you think, you're all clumped together. You must know the economy is not great from High Coast because you heard a P250, you heard a Deagle go off before, and you still clumped in tunnels and basically had no map control. Like, that is a massive oversight, whichever way you spin it.
The name of this fact is probably my favorite one so far. Did you have people say that at school? Like, my dad could be up your dad.
I'd never actually heard it myself, but I definitely could imagine that's something people said.
I'm sure there's a whole lot of dads out there who went, don't say stuff like that. Like, come on, like, what are you doing? I see the other guy's dad is like 6'4". It's like, oh, I heard you could beat me up. No, it just comes a little bit silly, you know. He likes to talk.
Such lack of utility for High Coast. But Ben has pushed into the double doors. Oh no, the timing.
Too smart. You can't fool Shake Zula. We've learned that so far. He'll fool you. It's like trying to learn the magician's secrets. It doesn't work out. He always looks so calm when he's doing it as well. Oh. No smoke at the moment. Secondary at least. The bomb's slowly making its rotation. Modem, he's been able to get aggressive quite a lot in this game. The problem is I don't feel like it's been too fruitful thus far. A lot of these flanks have been caught out, and you can see that he's a little bit more hesitant. The third smoke eventually gets the cross, and then Shake Zilla gets caught through it anyway. A true disappearing act.
Done the old David Copperfield. Whereas here needs to be a Houdini-esque escape for Pone alone if he wants to clutch this one. He's given his position away, and to be fair, I think with that shot, he realizes the chance has gone with it. He has to just pull back and try and save the AWP. Nice shot. Nice game sense to realize Cooper could peek from that very angle, but won't stop him in terms of conceding the round. Triumph will edge ahead again, and I got to give them credit because they've had a couple of very sloppy T rounds here, but it seems like they've kept their heads.
Yeah, for sure, especially after the start that we saw with like the force by victory and a 3-1 lead coming in for High Coast to now bring this back and take the lead themselves. I think they've definitely got a decent head on their shoulders. And again, I think the credit has to be given, of course, to Shake Zilla individually, but also in his sort of leading style. There's been a lot of opportunities for the team to get caught out, and he seems to do well to bring it back. A few tasty shots along the way. I would also like to see Pone alone potentially put in some more aggressive positions here, because I feel like there's been a lot of shots that he's been connecting so far this map over RCF as well. And unfortunately, there seem to be exits. I feel like at least maybe half of his kills thus far this map have been him just trying to save an AWP.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually. There's been a lot of exit frags going on, not necessarily impactful. Some aggression, though. High Coast.
There you go.
They're getting out of B. This here has a good angle as well. May go unchecked, but they've got the intel. That is good information. It's been attained, but then they walk out a bit too far, and MOTM is put down. Ben missing one too many shots, smoke just to keep himself alive, but he knows he's getting wrapped on, especially as those long players weren't fast enough to react.
Decent flashes as well means that Boo has to give up his one aggressive angle. There's also a pincer coming in from Viz. He knows the chances are okay, that they're going to have rotated by now. I don't really know why there'd still be anybody around this B site. Timing's everything, though. And Pone alone again. It's a nice shot connected, but it's one that means nothing. He's secured the B site. He'll get his safe haven to try and hold on to his gun, but Unfortunately, his teammates haven't been able to do anything when it comes to holding on to this A site. And I feel like that's where the pressure started to come in over the last few rounds, just almost executing in this direction because they've been able to get an awful lot of opening picks.
I've been really impressed with Sheikh Zula today, Tom. I've got to admit. Like, he a bit quiet on Inferno, sure, but it seems like it all springboarded after that, like, 10 HP play that he made when he ran the interference, the fake over on A site. And since then, just from strength to strength, Pone alone, unfortunate not to get that second kill. And you can look at the floor all you want, but that's where you go in 6 foot under. Triumph have picked up another one, and High Coast for the last round of the half. Well, it'll be no AWP, and there'll be very few rifles alongside it of really any significance, just for masses.
Again, when you get off to such a stellar financial start in a map like Dust2, and then you don't even win the half, I think High Coast are going to be feeling a little bit hard done by. And there was a few silly sort of pushes that they made in some of the earlier rounds, which I think have definitely come back to bite them. Modem, it seems like that he's getting caught out. I can think of now maybe 3, maybe even 4 rounds where he's gone pushing somewhere and has lost his life. In a round like this, it's definitely understandable, though. Like, they do have pieces missing from their purchase. They wanted to try and take it into their own hands. A trade is not all that bad. The problem is you've lost one of your rifles. Not really a chance to retrieve it unless Ben is feeling particularly audacious.
Oh, he goes aggressive. He gets punished. Fizz now looking for more and gets it. 2 more kills added to the mix. Survives a bit longer than he probably should have. And B-Will's elsewhere nullifies Boo. It's looking good. RCF is the last player to fall, and Triumph will lead 9-6. They're only a few steps away from securing this best of 3, but first, a short break.
Well, I think it has to be said, Vince, that at least from my point of view, Triumph have definitely looked like the better team going into this one. Losing the second round force by going 3-1 down and still managing to win the half 9-6. They're in a pretty good spot here, and I'm sure a pistol would definitely add to that.
Well, they're coming under heavy fire, though, on long already. Viz with the USP, getting flashed a couple of times. Does have some support, though, from both B Wills and additionally Sheikh Zula. Got a good, fast rotation in play. First peek out, and RCF has been pummeled by the USP. Viz going in onto the blue container. And I mean, like, High Coast, they're bordering on being stubborn here because they've actually stuck around for long, but it has allowed Motum to now wrap around the side of the site.
This is going to be a weird position. The thing is, though, he wasn't exactly subtle, so I feel like there should be people who know he's there, and while the peak eventually comes in, I think the bomb has also been spotted in middle as well, so Cooper's just going to fall back to the site. B-Wills is there to support, and Cooper just knows, I don't need to take the peak here. I don't really need to take any risks. Eventually, he will be closed out, but it leaves Pone alone with a lot less time to try and get some sort of plant. Extra finances confirmed, but the rest of the team all looking to come in. First cap's not bad, but he's down to just 6 HP. Gonna try and pop himself out with a flash and gets all 3. That is ridiculous from Pone alone. That caught me off guard. I did not expect him to hit those shots.
Judging from his reaction, Tom, I don't think he did either. It came out of nowhere. I mean, I'm thinking he's done a great job just to get the plant down, let alone the clutch. That is an unbelievable play. And I love that in all of that, he decides he's going to up and over. I think it may have been a decoy. I'm not sure it was a flash. I think he faked it. Either way, what a play. And they started the round off with a bang, with RCF putting the bullet between the eyes of Cooper.
Oh, okay. It's getting a little bit rough. Few tags being connected. However, Sheikh Zula will not find anything else. This would be misery pretty much in the early rounds from Triumph. That means they won the first pistol. They 100% should have won the second one. And they've ended up losing the force buy and now likely could be losing the round here again. So High Coast, that's the thing. In terms of starts to the half, they've done incredibly well, but that seems to be where things have fallen a little bit flat. Now, going into the T side of Dust2, I do think that there's a very good opportunity for them to start just streaking rounds together, especially when you win a round like that. That gets the blood pumping. I mentioned Pone alone in the first half, so like he looked like he was playing well. Well, you add that into the mix of confidence, and maybe we're going to see him just pretty much roll over the opposition in the second half.
18-8. He's currently sat on. And it looks like Triumph will be able to hold on to the Galil and the Scout, which, all things considered, not too bad. But unlikely they really invest too much behind this. So they're going to have to be hoping and praying that one of these two players can come out all guns blazing and maybe take control over the situation. Some Deagles also picked in for the mix as well. Everybody will have a bit of firepower, and everyone barring Sheikh Zula has Kevlar as well. So this is the potential banana peel for High Coast, even though they come through into this round with a lot of firepower, tons of grenades. Ben takes a bit of damage, but he inflicts just as much as he receives.
Now, they've actually spent a little bit of extra money as well on Sheikh Zula, so his purchase going into the next round is not going to be perfect. A piece or two missing here and there. It's not going to be much of a problem, but enough that he might not have all the utility he desires. We'll see. Every kill he's going to get might be an extra grenade purchase, and they have managed to take at least a little bit of extra map control. It does, however, mean that the B site is completely open, but it's something I mentioned earlier. Like, you don't normally see too many teams pressure the B site when they have rifles and they're up against pistols, because there's a massive risk, and well, that risk definitely came through when we witnessed in the last half. Molotov is there to clear Sheikh Zula out of position, though. They're actually going to go playing towards mid, it seems.
Oh no, not like this. Cooper's just ripped off 2 heads. Enough time for the reload, enough time for Snick to close the gap as well. And B-Wills is here. with the Galil, and they are being shredded down. And whereas Pone alone clutched it around earlier on the pistol, under very different circumstances, he's been dinked instantly. 11 HP remains. He has no control over the bomb. And although he does put the headshot down range onto Cynic, 17 seconds to try and hold on to his AK. And they are wrapping around the side. Now, honestly, Triumph, if they just let him survive, because he can't plant the bomb, he can't win this round, they really don't want to lose these guns. Like, the Galil is maybe a bit more expendable, but you want to build your own finances up here. And it's not like High Coast are going to have an amazing buy themselves. So, Pone alone, he will survive, but Triumph have just stolen that round out of nowhere.
Yeah, this has got to be infuriating. Like, again, you get yourself into a decent financial position, and now you've just been slapped straight into the ground. And it's the same sort of thing I was mentioning previously, like with the B site. Like, the reason the risk is there with the B site is because you're going into angles that basically favor the pistols, and they didn't have any utility to force Cooper out of that angle. Like, I would bet on him getting a kill, at least. The fact that he gets a couple is something completely different. The response, though, is actually the T's to potentially break back almost instantly. They found a decent couple of kills. Now, Boo's just going to be watching. Still only with a scout, of course, so not in the best of positions. Cynic as well, trying to spot towards long, where they will look to reclaim some ground. But Vince, it looks like they're going the other way.
Yeah, it's this gamble stack. I think they'll be looking to save, honestly, clump together. As soon as that bomb gets planted down on B, just save and ramp. Just hold on the angles. You've got an AWP, you've got 2 assault rifles. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but I think it's one that Triumph will need to do with a smile on their face. Just closing off the angles now. Plant will be forthcoming. Both teams, I think, will be relatively happy to call it a day right here, right now. So more than likely, High Coast take a 9th. Be very surprised if Triumph even have any kind of a swing at this, and you can already see them pulling the plug. So makes a lot of sense. Doesn't mean we'll be at 10-9, but yeah, there's been a couple of moments here, Tom, where you really feel like one team's about to pull away. You know, they're just about to put their foot down on the floor and really pump the gas out, and instead they seem to swerve and somewhat crash into the side, into a tree. It's been very strange to watch, but been very entertaining at the same time.
Yeah, I guess it's kept us on edge, which, especially considering the time, that's not a bad thing. Like, it's kept my heart beating, at least, not knowing which way these rounds are going to be going. Now, for High Coast, that's a big round to win. It would have been the destruction of their economy, but on the other side of things for Triumph, their loss bonus, well, it's not great, but it's not awful enough that they're going to struggle to get a buy on the board. So Sheikh Zula dropping an extra gun, actually going to drop down to a FAMAS for himself to make sure that he has all that extra utility. And on the other side of things, it's looking like we're going to have a battle for long once again, although it's only really Pone alone who's going to make it through. The Molotov will be extinguished. Viz, it's a bit of a dicey duel, but he does get away with it. And in fact, completely blind, B-Wills is going to pick off a second. The long battle goes the way of Triumph this time, but instantly there's a response. The T's are going to try and take control of middle, and this will leave it all on to Sheikh Zula.
I really like the idea in the call, but Sheikh Zula, off angle, splatters the first player, and even if he goes down without taking anyone else with him, he's done enough, because he's wasted enough time. He's stalled them long enough that all of the troops have started to make moves through CT. Ben tickles the bomb, trying to drop the CTs into the open, but it's Spray getting one, but he will be shut down instantly afterwards from Cooper. There will be no repeat performance from Pone alone's majestic play of earlier, and Triumph do now extend their lead to 2.
It's one of those maps where we really do normally talk about momentum and how it's sort of this back and forth. It almost leaves things a little bit weird for both sides. Like, neither team really building up any cash. It even seems like High Coast, in terms of their investment, is still questioning things, like how much they can actually put into this round without creating some sort of detriment for the next. Not going to be much. Pistol here and there, bit of armor. A bomb plant definitely would have helped them out, but well, you can understand the chance of getting that down without anybody peeking was fairly unlikely. Instead, well, back to the same strat, right? Where's the easiest place to get a bomb plant? Well, you head towards Cat.
head towards the catwalk side. There is an AK-47 in the very capable hands of Cynic that is watching it. And although they will be looking to smoke the cross, the incendiary is destined towards catwalk. It's a bit too late, though. Ben is getting tagged down exceptionally low, and they lined up for a brief moment. Although Cynic has been put down by the P250 of RCF, the damage should have been inflicted enough to at least secure the round. Should be a bomb plant coming in, but High Coast had a buy into the next regardless of the outcome of this round, so won't really be a massive bonus towards their economy. Cooper looking for the peak, gets the shot down, gets dinked instantly by RCF though, and all the rest of the pieces of the puzzle fall into place. Successful retake. Triumph will have a 12-9 lead, but High Coast will be coming straight back in. What you assume will be at least one AWP, and plenty of AKs behind it.
Yeah, I'm sure High Coast would be a little bit disappointed. Like, again, like, getting a bomb planter kill, it's really not bad at all. Like I said, you're basically just replacing the investment that you already had, but more so just because they actually got a fair few of those players low and close to getting an extra couple of kills, which, considering the current CT economy, okay, it's not bad now with the 4 players they had surviving, but if you dropped an extra couple of players there, it would have got pretty awkward.
Yeah, definitely. And it's about the bigger picture as well. Like, High Coast have got to start to battle back, and any little scrap that you can take away from the CTs can eventually catch up with them. It's a nice shot from RCF. A bit unfortunate not to get the kill onto Viz, who drops down to 10. And elsewhere, Motum is tagged down to 60 as he moves on towards the Xbox. So at least they have taken that catwalk control again fairly early on. We haven't really seen Triumph play too aggressively on catwalk, or at least not often, not frequently, and I'm wondering if that will change up in the next few rounds if High Coast continue to try and exploit this area of the map.
It definitely seems like Triumph are very confident in Cooper, though, to at least do damage or get a couple of kills before they make it into the site. So I guess the assumption there is, okay, if he can do enough to keep us in the round, then we can just look to retake rather than having to gamble players elsewhere to try and take that control. Definitely a good idea to keep it fresh, though, and well, they were ready for any shenanigans of Boo. Shake Zilla, though, about to come under pressure. Oh, that's not a good incendiary, and the smoke's only going to extinguish any defense that was there for Viz. A mistake that allows High Coast right into the site. Now, a 3v3, it's workable, but with the sheer lack of utility for this CT side, it looks like they might be tempted to just duck out.
Yeah, I think it's that bigger picture thing again, or maybe they are thinking about going in for this one. It seems like it's quite a late call. I don't know if they're setting up for some exit frags or if they're actually going to properly go in for it. As you said, though, there's only 2 flashbangs at their disposal. About a third of the fuse remains, so maybe they're hoping for a peak. It hasn't came up, so they do decide to pull the plug after all. But as you said, Sheikh Zulu was under pressure, and he collapsed under that pressure, which is uncharacteristic. He's had a really good game, especially on Dust2. And one of their most stable players they could really rely on. Just goes to show he is human after all. In doing so, High Coast have hit their double-digit mark. And they will continue to romp forward with the AWP and 4 AKs, I would assume. And the same could be said for Triumph. They're going to keep in with the AWP, but actually they pick up a secondary. So Sheikh Zula's going to have the secondary AWP. This puts Viz down onto a FAMAS, but we do know that they do like to run in with the 2 sniper rifles.
I assume this might be either to lock down tunnels or be a little bit more proactive into middle, because they've started to suffer a little bit with those splits. It really relies on his Molotov or incendiary being held late enough into the round. Cooper's definitely aware. Oh, the flashbang, I think, may have just saved Modem's life. It looked like he was more than ready to pull the trigger. Well, you mentioned cat control. That's something they go for early in this round, although good utility usage from High Coast is going to force them to surrender it, and eventually they end up with the same control they had before.
Yeah, I like the idea. I would have maybe liked him to stay up on the one and done position a bit longer above catwalk, where obviously the AWP takes the shot, falls down towards CT, but they may have felt like they didn't have the foundation on Long to supply that. And in doing so, they may have completely given it up. Now, Long is about to get aggressed on. It's B-Wilt here by himself with the AWP. They push through, and he sprays them both down. That's the bomb that goes with them. Single-handedly repelling the push and putting High Coast in all kinds of trouble.
I'm not sure if they thought they had some sort of timing there, but running through a smoke on Long when it's just been smoked, unless they thought he basically just smoked it and walked away, but huge amounts of risk, and Very, very little rewards. They're reliant here on Motum. If he can somehow find a kill into mid, maybe there's an opportunity. That's what we're really looking at here. If he can find some sort of pick, garner them some space, but they've already been spotted, and Cynic could just get up on the boost, but he gets no one. It seemed like that was for free. Shakezilla, this is a dirty angle, but it doesn't matter. Pone alone will hit the headshot. He's trying to stop them rotating to give his teammate a chance. He'll get across and just about get the bomb down, but RCF is going to be pressured almost instantly. The AWP in hand, first shot missed, and I think that might be the only one he gets to take, as Triumph will convert this one. A 13th onto the board, some decent positioning from them, but more so, I think, mistakes made by High Coast.
Yeah, nearly some horrific mistakes made from Triumph. I mean, Cynic's spray up on that box was pretty grim. He should have got at least one kill, and probably two. And if he gets one, I think that just puts the round to bed. As you said, RCF got the bomb plant down with milliseconds to spare. That would have stalled him longer. I think that would have forced him into a save, but it doesn't really matter. They get the round anyway. They put High Coast into a very awkward position in terms of their buy. They only got the one rifle in RCF's hands, of course. And the rest of the team with the pistols walking down middle with no smokes, no flashes. And Boo has been punished by Cooper's AWP.
Strong start to around. They're desperately going to want to convert. We've definitely had a few that have gone by the wayside. Again, though, pressure towards short. This seems to be the main point of call for High Coast, and although it normally ends up with a bomb plant, it's not really brought home any round wins, even if it has brought a couple of players low. And it seems like they're more than ready for this. Cooper's initial peak quickly rotates back to the old faithful, where he's pretty good at finding his shots. That smoke, that's actually forced them off the angle. It allows them to get a little bit further, but they then had to get past the first angle Cooper was holding, and he's not going to miss that shot.
He's 2 on point right now. He's feeling it. Bomb has been planted, but Cooper will clean up with a Tech 9. Aggression puts him to bed. Ben's still in this, actually. The CZ is ripping and tearing through the CTs, and post-plant forces the CTs to come to him. It's another dink. It's a chance, but the chance has gone begging, and you can't expect Ben to do any more from that situation, Tom. The fact he even put them into a 1v2 is pretty outrageous in itself.
I love that whenever he dies in a situation like that, he always seems to have a smile on his face. Like, I almost got away with it, didn't I? Like, that made no sense. Again, my CZ does not work like that. Hence why I don't even have it equipped anymore, because it's just a waste of time. But my dad avoided your dad. See, now that sounds more like my style of things. A completely antisocial, avoiding all conflict other than in video games, where I'm well, basically I should be playing for extra salt just because, well, obvious reasons. 14-10. T-side are going to have themselves a purchase once again. Now, of course, they've managed to get themselves into close situations over the last few rounds. Unfortunately, that doesn't really win anything. It does mean that Triumph's economy is still on the brink. It's only Shakezilla with any extra cash. And I'll speak of the man, and he's going to be given an opportunity, but this time they've managed to get out long quite quickly. Control garnered for High Coast, but can they actually do anything with it? Because this time, Triumph have fallen off without any casualties.
Yeah, I think a point that you touched on, it's very poignant to not just this map, but the overall best of 3 is, yeah, sure, High Coast have got close a number of times, but close means nothing in Counter-Strike. At the end of the day, the W's at the end of the round are all that counts. And too many times they've let 2v2, 3v3 situations slip through their hands, and now they're really struggling. It may be their last chance. Triumph, once again, giving up a lot of early control, but this time, as opposed to it being catwalk, it's actually long. They've typically been on point with their long control, so they feel comfortable to use that secondary AWP in the hands of Shakezilla back at the site. They've also got Cynic, who is watching from CT side. 2 players are behind him, helping them out. Double smokes for the cross. Here comes the push. Flashbangs alongside it. Lots of damage, though. And it's Viz with 2 with the York through the smoke, shutting down this push. RCF and Motum have been sent reeling. They still get across to the site, but that's only the first hurdle. They've navigated over, and Shakezilla makes sure they trip and fall afterwards.
Ooh, bit risky. A chance for Ben to potentially find something, but he's going to have a firing squad facing against him. And now Pone alone trying to bring this back. He had a fantastic pistol round clutch, but this is too much to ask for. A 15th on the board for Triumph. And once again, Sheikh Zula with the AWP this round, I don't think it was the most pivotal kill in the world, but it's more so the calling. Like you mentioned, okay, long control, short control, the way that they've been actually playing the map. I don't think it's necessarily that they are choosing to give up long control. For example, in this round, lots of flashes, smokes going over, but they give it up, but it's then the reaction. A lot of teams might just sit there, try and battle for it, try and fight for it. Not Triumph. They give it up completely. They go, okay, you've got long. We're going to take away short. We're going to dominate middle. We're going to make sure there's nowhere else for you to go other than long. And it's just so perfectly played by them on the core and the reposition that, yeah, Lycos just didn't stand a chance. They walked straight into a firing squad.
Yeah, Triumph are just constantly poking and probing and outmaneuvering High Coast, putting them into positions where Triumph are stronger. A lot of it is on that man on your screen right now, Sheikh Zula, not just leading them with some great calls, but also dishing out a fair amount of frags on top of it. 18 kills to his name with 75 ADR. And a lot of impactful frags, it should be mentioned. Now, High Coast down to their last opportunity to try and pull this out the embers. Both teams have let a lot of map points go by, and so it's possible that High Coast can at least apply that pressure once more, but all four of them on the catwalk side, they don't have anywhere near enough utility to feasibly go for a fake. It has to be right here, right now. Double smokes have been put down. The cross is coming into fruition, and it's Cooper to try and hold the line.
I can't think of a situation where they've managed to get past him without him getting a kill. I wonder if this will be the change. No, it's consistent. Consistently taking down one player every single time, and then we see the same reposition. Just falls back to the side. Okay, if you want to cross, if you want to try and take extra control of A, you have to face me again. And now just gaining in confidence more and more. His 17th frag, leaving just 2 players standing. Make it 1 as RCF, he tries to clutch things out, but it won't happen this time. Triumph take home the map of Dust2, and more importantly, they get the series as well.
Very well played indeed. After conceding the first map, they go back-to-back on Train and Dust2. And tomorrow now they face off against Liquid. Now, a lot of us feel like Liquid should have this in the bag, Tom, but I've been pretty impressed with how Triumph played today.